Hello, I'm Char. Welcome to the Char Tarot channel. This is a viewer request just about how to get started reading tarot. And yes, anybody can read tarot. Where's my camera? Anybody can read tarot. You just need to start, okay? So you do not need to wait for permission for somebody to buy you a deck. You're allowed to buy your own deck. Go out and find one that speaks to you. You don't have to wait for an invitation. It's not a secret society. There's no big secrets. And I'm really happy that I can help give you these tips to help you become a tarot reader for yourself. All right, here we go. Okay, to be totally transparent, I have a free tarot keywords cheat sheet that you can download. I will put the link right below in the description. So this is free if you need some keywords to help you get started. This is the exact same setup I used when I first started live streaming. So that's available to you for free. Click that link down in the description. I'll put it as well in the comment section. Also, I'm going to talk about different decks that I use. I'll link my store for you in a comment or the description below, so you can have a look through the decks that I use. And then finally, have fun with it. Like, it's a little overwhelming at first, but it's actually a really super easy thing to do. You don't need any superpowers or special psychic abilities to be able to read the tarot, okay? So you can do it. You've made it this far. Let's get you started. Let's figure this out. So tarot is a 78 card deck. It's a fixed system, and each card has a traditional keyword, phrase, and it fits into the story of tarot in its own place and time. So there's the major arcana, consists of 22 cards that talk about our personal human journey, and then we have 4 suits of ace to king, of swords, wands, pentacles, and cups, and each one of those represents a different tool: earth, air, water, fire, emotions, actions, creativity, and money. So each one represents a different thing. It helps to tell the story of our mundane human tasks. So when you see major arcana and minor arcana coming together, or pip cards, that helps to lay the story out of tarot. And once you get to know your tarot deck, and once you get to learn the tarot cards and their meanings, when you lay the cards out, you're going to be able to see the story. Okay, it just takes practice. So have faith in yourself. Tarot is just a deck of cards. I can read with a regular playing deck. Tarot is a deck of cards. It's a tool. It doesn't have any special possessions to it, and you can use it as a tool as well. It's great for finding just little hidden things that we may need to pay some attention to. It's great for getting some insight to questions. It's great for understanding how our human cycles work and how we can recognize them within ourselves. You know, so when we want to read tarot for ourselves, 100% absolutely go ahead. You have a thumbs up from this tarot reader telling you that you can do it. Now, that's not something a lot of people are going to say, but it's true. It's very true. I'll read for you. You can read for yourself. We can read together. It is, that's what it's all about for me. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the history of tarot right now. That story is available online. I will say that when in my live stream readings here on YouTube, when I talk about the traditional deck, I'm talking about the Waite Smith deck. You'll also know of it as the Rider Waite deck. Rider is the publishing company. Arthur Waite is the author. Pamela Coleman Smith is the artist. All right, that's also another very big story and connection. You can look those up online. I may do videos about that in the future. But when I'm referring to the traditional deck in the live streams, I'm referring to the Arthur Waite, Pamela Smith tarot deck, tradition deck. There are a couple others out there that are older, but I'm not getting into them. This is how I do it. So when somebody says to me, hey, I want to learn tarot, can you help me? My first question to them is, do you want to learn traditional tarot? Do you want to learn intuition? Do you want to have just a really good time with it while you're learning tarot? Those questions are important because if you want to learn a bit of the history, the original cards, the symbols, the colors, the animals, the people, the shapes, the everything in the traditional deck as a foundation, go for this. But I can honestly say I didn't feel connection to my Waite Smith deck until I'd played with a couple of different theme decks. Okay, so the Steampunk Tarot was I fell in love with just because of the way it looked. Like, that's my style, right? But I've always had a couple of Waite Smith decks on hand so that I can actually like look at the traditional pictures, what the interpretation is there. Now, the fun thing about these modern decks is they're fun, right? Like this one, for example, is one of my newest favorites, Curious Creatures. We're looking at like animal heads on people bodies. Like, it's just a lot of fun. So here we are. Don't worry about learning tarot. Don't fret, right? So the cards still sort of carry through the traditional images, but they make it a lot more fun and exciting. Okay, one thing I want to add in here is your deck should come with a book or it should come with a pamphlet. This is another thing we're going to talk about in just a few minutes, but it should have a little booklet or it should have a book. Otherwise, you may have a fake deck. But when somebody wants to learn tarot, I say, do you want to learn the traditional? And then we've got wonderful artists and creators that have taken the genders out of the tarot deck and made it more neutral, more symbols. This I found really easy to read intuitively as the story unfolds. So you can go with the traditional way or you can go with a more modern deck. All right. Okay, I said be on the watch out for false decks. If you're ordering a cheap deck that's like super cheap off Wish, it has a QR code like this instead of an ISBN number or a SKU like that. It's most likely a fake deck. And the problem with this is that the artists and the creators, they don't get paid for their work. So these are knockoff decks, and really the artist and the creator do not get paid. So if you've been duped into buying a fake deck, don't feel bad about it, but be aware of it now going forward, okay? So I learned this the hard way. I do have a couple of these fake decks. It was Ellen Dugan, the creator of the Witch's Tarot, that had an issue with that when I learned that that is a thing. Like, do not order your tarot decks from Wish. They should have an ISBN number. See? And they come in different kit styles, right? This guy, he's got that one, different boxes and different sets. And you know, most tarot cards are about this big, right? This is a deluxe kit, my in-between tarot, and it's just a box set with a book, a fully detailed, fully color book that explains each card, and a nice little pocket to hold all the cards in there. Okay, so the authentic decks versus fake decks, just be aware of it. And just be aware that when you buy the proper decks, the authors and the creators get the proper credit, okay? The Everyday Tarot is also a really good starter tarot deck. Biddy Tarot, Bridget Esselmont, she has a great Facebook page, lots of tarot tips. She runs free classes all the time. So also look at your artist. Quite often the creators of the decks will have little fan pages that they give out tips and tricks on reading for you. So if you love somebody's style, then go and follow them on their social medias and you get to learn a lot more of the inside stuff that way. Just right quick here, all the books with the decks will usually have examples of 3-card readings or different spreads to do. This is a really good way of practicing, so you don't necessarily need anybody to do a reading for. Just practice doing these spreads, and we'll go over why in a little bit. So the very first thing I do when I get a deck is I'll look through each and every card and see how the story unfolds. if there's a card that sticks out, I'll put it to the side. And I'm like, why did that one stick out to me? So I'm just looking at the cards, seeing what colors are there. Those colors match. Having a look at the artistry, because this is one of the fantasy decks I love. Having a look at the artistry, seeing if anything stands... Ooh, the star. Seeing if anything stands out. So do this a couple of times. Take your time and really look through it the first time. Oh, look, it looks like Jupi on that card. See, and anything that stands out in that way, just kind of take a note, right? So after going through the whole deck, what do you notice at first? Talk to your cards. Say, hello, thank you for being my cards. It's going to be really nice to work with you. Ooh, nice moon card there. Yeah, these guys definitely stood out. So after I look at them all, I'll give the deck a shuffle and see how it feels and just really put my intention and my energy into it. Oh, it's nice to work with you. Thank you for your messages. I'm looking forward to knowing you better. Like, I talk to my decks. I really do. I really connect with them. So after that, you know, I'll go through a little bit faster. Ooh, double card. I'll go through a little faster just to see what happens, you know. Then I'll mess them all up, see what happens. And then a good way to learn tarot is to put them all back in order, right? So you're going to have the chance to make a big mess, and then you're going to have major arcana, swords, wands, major, swords, cups, pentacles, wands, major, wands. And then once you get your things figured out, you're going to go, okay, 1, 12, 15, 20, and then just put them all in the same numerical order. 1 to king and 1 to 22 in the majors. Okay, so that's how you practice getting to know your cards. And remember, you picked them. They picked you. This is you. This is for you. All right, so after you look through them, you get the feel of them, read through the deck, read through the book, and see what it has to say. You know, I like to start at the beginning, and it tells you a little about the author, but I like to start at the beginning. Did you notice, as you looked at me, that the frame of the card is unlike a doorway? Is not unlike a doorway. Like, the author will quite often put little tips and blurbs about the specific deck in here as well. And then it also should tell you the card and the intent behind the card, right? So the Fool card is new beginnings, getting started. And sometimes the book will have a upright and reverse meaning. So you can learn the reverse right here as well. This one has pup conversations because the Fool card is a dog jumping off a cliff. So the author, Chris Ann, has expanded in that little, this is my inspiration behind the card, and maybe you can be inspired of it as well. Some books have the pictures of the cards, some don't. So with the books that don't, I like to hold the card beside me so I can read it and look at the card and see what the creator is talking about. So, you know, with the tarot, the traditional sort of deck, look, we've got the Strength card coming out, the bright colors, which way is the animal facing, paying attention to which way the people are walking, and just practice laying down the cards, seeing what the cards look like all together. So Strength, 9 of Wands, King of Wands. We have to have strength to work through our problems, and the King of Wands talks about action. So, you know, we're finding our strength there. We've got some worries, but the 9 of Wands is like, get them out. And then the King of Wands is looking at the 9 here. So the direction that people are facing, am I looking to the future? Am I looking to the past? Am I looking to the now, right? So, and what else are we looking at? This wand, it has little leaves on it. We've got a lion up here. There's a lizard down here. So what happens when we take action on that? Our judgment gets released. It's like a new feeling. We feel better. We feel reborn. We can see hope. Okay? And so just by laying out the cards, and it doesn't matter if you're doing a reading or not, lay out some cards and see, you know, like, where's the pattern here? Do we see a lot of major arcanas? No, there's only one major arcana. I see a lot of swords. I have 3 cards that are swords. So we're looking at, what are we revealing? What are we looking at? We have a Cups and a Pentacles both spilt over. So if we're not feeling that great, maybe there's a little financial troubles there. We're working through them. We have to be honest. The King of Swords here, looking in the right now, very blunt, looking in the right now. What can you do right now to fix that problem? And then, you know, just lay more cards on top of it. Oh, well, when we let go of old beliefs, we can learn new ones and start to build new foundations. So you guys, that's literally how I've learned to read tarot. Learning the keywords for each of the cards, putting them together, just making up scenarios. You know, when you get a deck, make a big mess of them and then lay them all out in all the different suits. Lay them all out on your bed or on the floor and have a look and see what that story is telling you. Right? So there's set keywords to that, but ultimately the story is for you to see. Right? So that's what I do to practice. When I get new decks, I'll walk around the house with them for a couple of days. I'll talk to them. I'll shuffle them. I'll look at them. I'll read the book to them. I'll let them sit with my other decks so they can be friends and, you know, like share that sort of reading energy that I have with them and that connection with you. And then I just go for it. You know, I really go for it. If I see like a free class that's going on with one of my creators, I will definitely sign up for that. And I think one of the biggest things to remember in tarot is to trust your intuition and always be learning. Right? So if something is standing out to you in a card and it makes sense in that reading, go for it. Right? That's standing out for you. Because every single thing in a tarot card has a meaning. The color, what they're wearing, how many pentacles, how many pieces of background art there are. Everything in a tarot card has a specific meaning. The symbols behind it, the colors, if there's numbers. Ooh, the death card. You know, we have animals. We have marching forward with that flag, with the announcement that it's complete. We have the Three of Cups with the three different, we've got the red cape, the yellow cape, but we're all holding golden cups, celebrating individuality, but coming together in a group, okay? So once you start practicing looking at the cards, you're going to see the stories come. And you're going to see the different card combos. I talk about different card combos a lot. You know, like when we have certain cards that come out, you know that it's that kind of situation. So you have that sort of practice of insight. Well, you know, this comes up often like this in this set. For many different people, this is kind of what it means, you know. Don't be afraid to take your own intuition into it because it is, you know what guru means? G, you are you. Oh, gee, you're being you. You're trusting your intuition, your heart, right? And plus, there are the keywords. There are the base keywords. These are for free in the link down below. Go and click that link. They're for free. There's base keywords that tell that story. So it makes it very easy to just kind of look at the keyword, look at the card, and it's not a lot of memorizing because it'll come. It's just like reading a book. Okay, you guys? So there's a few quick tips. Sorry this video went on a little bit longer than I was expecting, but you know what? It's going to help you remember the numbers. It's going to help you remember the major arcanas, what they mean, the order of them, you know, putting the cards out together. You're going to learn it. And I truly, truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that you can read tarot for yourself and your friends, just like I read tarot for you and for myself and for my friends. All right, I believe in you, my friend. Thank you for this beautiful request, and I hope this answers a lot of your questions about reading tarot. If you have any other questions when it comes to stuff like this, please let me know, and I will do my best to answer them for you. All right, blessings to you. Thank you for being here and letting me read for you, and also letting me teach you how to read for yourself. It's such an honor and a pleasure, and I love watching you guys succeed in that. All right, mwah. Blessings to you, and I will see you next time on the channel.